dancing away? It is now. Actually, does that help? Does that help? Because last week, I was murmuring to myself, does it help? But last week, was it last week? Previously, I've been in the sun. This doesn't make any difference to me. Oh yeah, I think it does make a difference. Does make a difference. I don't want to snap it off. My cheek. The sun on my cheek. I think this might help. Right. Hello again. Now last week I said I'm just going to refer to my shooting script. That was a mistake. I meant to say my notes for today's talkie. Everything's off, yeah. Can I open a window? Didn't want the radio to come on and then I get done for copyright. Yeah. It's a nice day today. I always start with the weather, don't I? Because the first thing I see is the weather. No rain, just blue sky, sun, 13 degrees it says on the car. Right, let's find my script. I have to remember to sync. I'm using a Word document that's in the cloud, which means I'm only going to edit offline, but I have to, once it's online, it has to, because I do my notes on the other phone. So I need to sync it to this. Because last week I was panicking, I thought, oh no, it hasn't synced, and I was ready to do my piece to camera. It's not that long. I'll whisper it. I didn't count on there being voices. Okay, I can talk over it. I've got 23 hours in this car park, so I can relax. Get comfortable. Right, I'm going to start with last Monday. After the last talkie, in fact. And it says here, right. Okay. I mentioned last time about watching Columbo, starring George Wendt, and Rod Steiger. And because of that, and it happens to be the lieutenant's favourite dish, I decided to have chili con carne. No toast, just the chili on its own. And it was quite tasty, nice and spicy too. This is Monday, so I downloaded the mornings, not this mornings, but the mornings. I downloaded the mornings. I downloaded the morning's nightly build of Caden Live and discovered there was I discovered version 21.08.3 was released later. So I downloaded that as well and binned the nightly one. I was going to say 0.8 means it's a beta. No, 0.3 is a beta, so it is a stable beta. I get confused sometimes. I try to simplify these point numbers. Excuse me. I didn't have any breakfast because yesterday I had a quite a heavy meal. Being the 15th of the month, and so I had a kebab, basically a large kebab with chunky chips. That's about all I had really. I sort of picked here and there the odd biscuit. Was that my stomach? Cream cracker. The sun's gone in. I digress a little. Better like this, wasn't it? I'm going to snap it off, I know I am. And this is timed out. And so I didn't have anything. I've been snacking on biscuits. And that's it. And this morning I thought, I'm not going to have anything because I had a big meal yesterday. I'll have it when I come back. From the driving, from the filming, from the vlogging, from the videoing. Get over it. So what I had this morning, I'm building up to why I just burped. I had a cracker. I thought, oh, I just slowly, Stephen, easy. I thought I'd have a cracker, something dry and kind of tasty, cream cracker, and pop out. Then I thought, I looked at the tub of hummus I had in the fridge that's been there for a few days, and I thought, and it's on its last legs, so I thought, oh, I'll grab another cracker and scoop it out. So I had a big spoonful of hummus on the cracker and had that earlier, and I think that's what just repeated, sort of rushing around. I don't know why I went to all that trouble just to explain it. Sometimes there's a story behind everything. And speak up. Caden Live, this version, so I released that, been the other one. I also watched a lot. Oh, stop it! I've got a thing popping up over my Word document because I've selected some text. It's asking me, do I want to embolden it, do I want to cut it? So I had to unselect it. Anyway, I digress. And I watched a feature-length Laurel and Hardy called Saps at Sea. And I did neglected to mention, as it's a Monday, that I watched Only Connect and University Challenge, which I did. I'm sure I did later on. But that I didn't make much notes. Sometimes I leave it to the next day, and sometimes I leave it to the day after that, and I have to recap, and I shouldn't. That's the whole point of making notes, so I don't forget the details, and I did forget the details. So last Tuesday then. Oh, wait a minute, today is Tuesday. So this is Monday before last, by the way. This is last Tuesday, not today. That I'm coming to now. And I have no notes. I didn't write any notes again, see? And I must have edited the talkie vlog, 1110, and it was 52 minutes long. I also filmed vlog 1111, which is probably last Tuesday's one. I think that hit my car, didn't it? You hit my car, lady. Did you hear that clang? Again, you see, good. There's all these cars parked everywhere in the world. You just have to hit mine. Here's looking at you, kid. Yeah, I filmed vlog 1111, which I think is last Tuesday's. using the Motorola for the audio. As it was a moto vlog, it was a Motorola I used for the audio. Silly things I've written down here. Must have been late. That brings me on to last Wednesday. Oh my gosh, I've written the same. I have no notes. But I managed to delve into the recesses of my memory, and I've put down, I think I tried DaVinci Resolve again, the pre-cut page version. I thought, well, maybe I could free up some DaVinci resource by going back to an old version, and I've done this before, but I don't know if I didn't use the render solutions suggested in YouTube videos, so I tried it out, and after editing vlog 1111 in Kdenlive, and when the laptop was free after the render, the re-edit of 1111 in DaVinci was fine, except for the Motorola track not showing the waveform. I need to check the dent in my car in a second. Although it can auto-align, it's got an auto-align feature. Although it can do that by the waveform, or even the time code, it couldn't do either. The point of me using the Motorola for the audio is because the video's audio is faulty, and DaVinci had proven it can't align Motorola to it, probably in the past. So if the waveform is damaged on the Samsung, it's going to find it difficult to map it to the audio on the Motorola. I want to get off this quick. I'm not sure why it couldn't do it by timecode, because I managed to do it myself manually. And what I did was I ignored the hours and put the minutes onto the minutes of the timeline. So if the timeline, if it was if the time was 1:50, 1:15, 1:10, then I would find the 10th minute on the timeline to put the clip on it. So that way I'm aligning the minutes that way, and I was successful, I believe. How did I word this? Not sure why it couldn't align by timecode. I managed to by ignoring the hour and putting the minutes and seconds in the file name at the same minutes and seconds in the timeline. I can't remember now. Oh, I remember now. It says here, I remember now. DaVinci can't interpret the file name, and the created or modified dates are the stop dates. So once synced and edited came the render in DaVinci pre-cut page version, which brings me on to last Thursday. So I'm getting there. Oops, I have no notes again. I must have been cheesed off by putting that. However, I added continuation using a less rated DaVinci, which is the pre-cut page version, but the render still failed. Do I need this still? Yeah. Seems to work. But the render still failed. I'm not going to say why, because it's the usual, I guess. Trying to render a 4K timeline in 4K. That's the old chestnut. More Laurel and Hardy's. Although I didn't film going to Sainsbury's, I went there afterwards to get my favourite ready meal curry, chicken jalfrezi and pilau rice, and it was delicious as ever. Alright, on to Friday. We're getting there really quickly. I uninstalled DaVinci Resolve and installed the nightly build of Kdenlive, and I did it remotely in bed. Start of the day. Had trouble selecting files remotely. You know, with a mouse you can click and drag. I can't with a finger, it's awkward. So I had to get out of bed for that one. Whilst they were being proxied, I did the shooting script for vlog number 1112, i.e. Fridays. 1111 was Tuesdays. I must have skipped a day. I think I skipped a day last week. Fridays. Got up and started the edit. I was horrified by the blemish on the windscreen made by a seagull in every scene, so I had to cover it up with an electronic plaster. By 2 o'clock, I think, by 2 I was nearly finished, but had to get out and film the day's motor vlog. I'm starting to say motor vlog because it's a dash cam motor vlog. This is. It's not a proper vlog, it's a motor vlog, even though I call it a vlog. I was going to add it into the title screen, but no, just make more. I'll just make it longer and smaller. It's a moto, it's a vlog anyway. A moto vlog. Came back, finished the edit. Oh yeah, so I started the edit. I think it was 2 o'clock, so I decided to go out and film the vlog. Came back, finished the edit, played it back, kicked off the render, and had a frozen pizza. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a barbecue chicken one. Stone baked. Or thin crust, whatever. Not deep, the other one. Thin. Watched my old 4K vlogs made with DaVinci to see what the quality was like, because I figured I can export 4K video in DaVinci, but how do I do it? And of course I knew back then I wasn't au fait with the timeline, so the default timeline is 1920 by 1080, and I left it at that. And then when I came to the render, it thinks it's 1920 by 1080, so it's a drop down menu, so I then select the 4K and render, and it works. So that's how I did it. I looked at a few of them just to check on the quality side of things. Is it worth the risk? Because I had seen a recent video where they were going off script here, I think, and sort of ad-libbing. Doesn't take much to distract me. So let's see what I've written here. Yeah, watch my 4 vlogs made with DaVinci, which were filmed in 4K, proxy to 270. Yeah, proxy to 270p on a 1080p timeline, and rendered the 1080p timeline as 4K, which is what I said, the drop down menu. And when I select a different resolution in the render, it says to you, are you sure you want to do this, because it might affect the quality. And that led me to this video I saw, which a recent one. It was comparing screen sizes, saying this is how big 720 is, and this is how big 1280 is, this is how big 1080 is, and then this is how big 4K is. So it's an increase of 4 each time, especially the lot from 1080 to 4K. So that means if you was to render 1080 as 4K, it would be a good quality. I think I knew from that video. I started looking at these old videos of mine in 4K done on DaVinci. So the quality was good and the render worked. I got out off by stretching. I got by. Oh, it's even underlined the grammatical error. I got out off by stretching of 1080 to 2160, i.e. 4K. A recent video by someone else compared 20. This is what I mean, yeah. Compared the screen sizes, and basically stretching a 1080 timeline for 4K videos to render at 4K would show little difference. And I think I noticed that. I was happy with that. Right, something more pleasant. It was around midnight, and I watched Laughing Grady, which is a Lon Hardy short. Well, continued watching. I started watching it this time the day before and felt sleepy, and I felt sleepy again. So for a 20-minute Lon Hardy, I couldn't sit through it all because the time of day it was and sleep catching up with me. And it was a really good atmospheric episode set during a mild snowstorm, so a lot of interest there, and being looked at in the freeze, in the cold, in one's nightwear. Not me, but the characters. Sunday, actually it's Saturday. I woke up thinking it was Sunday. It was Saturday. Was this Saturday just gone? Probably, yeah. The weather cloudy, seemed Sunday. If that makes any grammar, if that makes any sense. In the mid-morning, Kdenlive finished the render. It took 10 hours. It was 28 minutes long. Worriedly, I'd set the alarm for 2:40 AM and slept through it again. I keep sleeping through these alarms on these smartphones. An hour later, I woke up and the render still hadn't finished. I switched on the laptop's Wi-Fi and went back to bed. As soon as I heard the voice alert that the render has finished, because Kdenlive can have voice alerts like render has started and the render has finished. As soon as I heard that, I remotely from bed uploaded it to YouTube, managed to top and tail it. That means I fill in all the YouTube fields remotely this time. Managed somehow to figure out how to select text in the Word document. I think it's a case of double tapping and holding down a tab and then swiping it quick so you get a selection. Anyway, I managed to figure it out and downloaded and installed the latest DaVinci Resolve. So now that I've figured out that these 4K DaVincis do render and the quality isn't half bad, I decided to to download DaVinci. So once I've got DaVinci up and running, I would edit in 270p, once proxying them to an eighth of the 4K size using the H.264 format, or codec camera, before the render. I haven't got to that bit yet. Stop it. Proxied. Change the timeline to 1080p before the render. In fact, I might come to the thumbnail bit, won't I? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I changed the timeline to 1080p. I think in the previous talk I mentioned that. By changing the timeline to 1080p, I can grab a still for the thumbnail. It's the thumbnail background, which PIXLR is set up in 1080p anyway to produce the overall thumbnail. I've got a feeling I'm going to come to this in a minute. But in this case, I've changed the timeline to 1080p before the render. Select. So when I come to the render, and then I have this drop down menu, and I select 2160p, which is 4K. It checks do I want to do it because of quality difference or risk, and I say yeah, it's fine. Quality will be sufficient. The thing is, my laptop's not powerful anyway, so I have to, if I want to use DaVinci, I need 8 gig of RAM. I've only got 4 gig, so I can't. It does say to me you can use it for editing HD, and you might have problems with color grading, but you can still use DaVinci. This is the software telling me this at the very start, when you first use DaVinci. It's got a quick tour. I think I'm going to come to this again later, which talks you through about project settings and all that. Unfortunately, Hangouts. Oh, what? So yeah, change the timeline to 1080p before the render. Select 2160 from the render. Confirm that it's okay. Quality will be sufficient. My laptop isn't powerful anyway. I watched my DaVinci 4K videos on quality again just to be sure, and this I decided was how I did it. So I'm back to doing it that way. I must have found a slight blemish in the screen, in the quality. I thought, oh well, maybe. I did see a video where they said they advise you against doing it because you do lose the quality. But since it's 4 times, the video is 4 times. Anyway, I've scaled down 4 times, and to render it up 4 times, it should be okay. And it was. It looks okay. I don't know where I'm going with this. Because DaVinci is really to use a proper editor like DaVinci Resolve or ELPHNT Express or Final Cut or Premiere Pro. To have at least one of those on your laptop is saying something, and I have now. But I have to remember my laptop isn't the best, the strongest, the fastest. I want to burp. I put up too much air. Bit of a rumble there. Oh my god. Sorry, somebody's trying to park into a small space next to me, and she's just the double of Margaret Rutherford. She's thought twice about it. Anyway, that's not that. Let's get through this. So whilst it was proxying in DaVinci, I did the pre-prod. I did the pre-production shooting script for Saturday's shoot. For breakfast, I had beans on beef on toast and coffee. I had beans on beef on toast and coffee with it. I was walking down the cold meat aisle in one of the supermarkets, and I spotted cooked beef, and remembered I used to have this years ago, and forgotten all about it until I saw it. So I bought a packet. It made nice cheese and beef sandwiches, and now beans on cheese on beef toast. Move on. Went for a filmic drive with ambitious slightly third act. This was last Saturday. Okay. I think I know where I went that day. Had beans on cheddar on cooked beef on toast again later on. Watched Lon Hardy and an oddity short called Them Thar Heels, about the two of them getting much needed R&R in the country in a hired caravan. What they don't know is the land they parked on just got raided and bootleggers apprehended. In the nearby well that Stan and Ollie drew their water from, had one barrel of booze poured down it by a bootlegger when the sheriff's department opened fire on their hut. Bit by bit the pair are getting lashed. Enter a broken down couple. Whilst the husband goes to get petrol, the wife stays with the chaps and has a glass or 5 of water. When the husband returns to find his missus and Hardy wearing each other's hats, he goes ballistic, and the men get up to slapstick shenanigans. So far, typical L and H fare, but what's special about this episode is it's probably the only one of theirs to feature a sequel. Called Tit for Tat, the 4 of them meet again when Laurel and Hardy open a shop next to theirs. I have recorded this as I had the other Laurel and Hardys that I've seen, and I haven't yet watched it, and I haven't watched even at that point I hadn't watched it, and even now I haven't got around to watching it. Had an hour's nap, then edited away in DaVinci as before, proxied and timeline resolution down to 480 by 270. It was smooth and fair quality. Used to be like Minecraft when I used to do it, using DNX HRLB. Now that I use H.264, like I know what I'm talking about, the quality is good, and I don't even have to use the proxy resolution. I turn that down to quarter as well. I don't need to do that anymore. I just change the timeline down to 270 and proxy it using H.264, blah 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 blah. So here we go. Smooth and fair quality. doing the thumbnail, I thought I wrote this down. Doing the thumbnail background was a breeze. Changing the timeline timeline resolution to 1080p, which pixel art is set to making the actual thumbnail. So I've sort of elaborated a bit more on that just now. Completed completed the edit. Time res back to 270p to watch it all back on. It's nice and smooth, no lag or dropped frames. It was just brilliant and good quality too. Because now that I've got the desk where it is near the heater, I can move the external monitor and actually watch it from the sofa. So because it's in a distance, the quality is not too bad. Then on to the render. After turning off the laptop's Wi-Fi and external monitor, so I turn off the Wi-Fi and I unplug the external monitor. Haven't done a disk clean up and an optimization on the C drive. Right, this is the bits I did before I did the render. Then onto the render, after after turning off the laptop's Wi-Fi, external monitor, doing a clean up and disk C drive optimization. I don't go anywhere near the %temp% folder anymore because or I'll risk the whole of Windows smashing around me. That was a lesson learned. Change the timeline resolution to 1080p. Went to render. I selected 2160 from the drop down menu as mentioned. It warned me, as it would. I said yeah, go ahead again, and began the render. This was 7:30 in the evening. And for the rest of the evening I watched a weekly live broadcast on YouTube about the Linux world. Oh yeah, This Week in Linux it's called. And it's done live, you know, he makes mistakes and redoes it, but it's all done live, and there's a chat. Because it's YouTube and you've got a chat room at the same time, we all tell him, you're mute, we can't hear you, you know, while he's filming away. It's pretty interesting at the moment because one of the bigger YouTubers who's got millions of subscribers, so he's huge, and it's sort of technical. It's a technical channel. He sort of he decided to try Linux for a month, and of course the whole Linux community, you know, leapt out of their chairs. That's such a big YouTuber, he's going to put Linux finally on the map, as it were. Then I watched another YouTube video and fell asleep on the sofa. When I woke it was 11:30, so had a Cornetto cloned ice cream and channel hopped. Sunday. I woke up to the alarm this time and found the render had finished in DaVinci Resolve. It's been a long time since I've seen a render in the DaVinci Resolve complete. Sorry about that if you heard that. So I uploaded to YouTube and copied Saturday's clips over. They went back to sleep until 8 AM. The upload was finished and the files copied. I opened DaVinci, started a new project for Saturday and proxied the clips. In the meantime, I read some more of Not Dead Yet. And the rest of the day is just around editing Saturday's video. Yesterday, Saturday's video exported or rendered, uploaded it, copied Sunday's over, proxied. I did it in such shorthand. I don't know what I've written here. Proxied, comma, which finished filming Monday's video. Oh, there's a comma missing there. So I started the proxy, which finished whilst I was filming yesterday's video. So I pulled over and saved the project remotely because I think I unplugged the battery. I unplugged the mains, the laptop from the mains, so the battery wasn't charging. So I didn't want the battery to run out before I had a chance to save DaVinci Resolve. Oh. Tight spot, reversing. I thought coming in was a good idea, and I nearly got away with it. That's not me, by the way, that's the tyres in the car next to me. Oh, these are all retired people. This one looks like Mr. Stringer, Margaret Rutherford's partner. Yeah. So completed Monday's filming, yesterday's filming, and being the 15th, I had lamb doner kebab and chips. Then I edited Sunday's video and I played it back. So today, like yesterday, the video got rendered, it got uploaded, Monday's files got copied over, opened a project. Yeah, I started a Resolve. I started a project in DaVinci Resolve for yesterday's vlog. Gosh, I'm falling asleep here. I bet you are as well. That's it, I reached the end. And I thought, oh, there's a few things I was going to say. And I've forgotten what it was. I think I've tired myself out. So that's it. I haven't seen Glenn Close yet. She's the discovering insert film star's name here episode in that series 14. So I don't know what next week's is yet. I'm interested to find out what that is. I've still got to see yesterday's Only Connect and University Challenge. I'm not going to have cooked beef anymore. I think I could. Yeah, less said about that the better. So I won't be renewing my meats in that area. I'll just stick to cheese and sandwich bread on brown. So when I get back, I'll probably have cheese on mature cheddar on toast and coffee, and watch Only Connect University Challenge, going close. I heard her name on the radio. What was it? In a vlog about her son. Her son does things. Don't know if it's in the film world or the fashion world or the music world. But yeah, her son cropped up. Right. So I haven't seen. I've still got lots of Harry, Laurel and Hardy's to watch. I think I saw a Michael Caine film. No, maybe I didn't. Maybe I watched a YouTube Yeah, probably on Micro K. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember what I was going to say. No, that's basically it. So that's it. It's not much. So to summarize all that, we're up to 38 minutes, maybe more, probably more than 38 minutes. So to summarize, I've resolved in my own way DaVinci Resolve's 4K rendering issue at a small price to quality. So I'm using DaVinci now. Whether I'll get bored and revert to Kdenlive, I don't know. It seems pointless. As I say, it's a low-end laptop trying to produce high-quality videos, and it is kind of high quality. Well, I have one other things to say, which is a relief to all of us. So thank you for watching. If you were watching, if it's helped you get to sleep, no problem, my pleasure, you're welcome, as they say. That's another cliche, isn't it? Now a new cliche, you're welcome. Right, I think I might as well move on with the rest of today's vlog.